welcome to Amphlett Reviews. Today we have another Hong Kong content review, continuing with the Michelle Yeoh Renaissance with these fantastic releases from EUREKA. I last talked about Royal Warriors, directed by David Chung, and he's done another film, Magnificent Warriors, the year after, which is an all-out action-packed Indiana Jones inspired 90-minute thrill ride from start to finish. Just a really kick-ass kind of adventure flick, kind of, movie of the week kind of thing, and it's a pretty badass, pretty fun. Let's dive straight into the renaissance and the awesomeness that is Michelle Yeoh in Magnificent Warriors. Magnificent Warriors, released in 1987, directed by David Chung, who's returning back with Michelle Yeoh from Royal Warriors 1 year prior to this, doing a all-out action-packed Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, whatever you want to call it, inspired Western movie, 90-minute, with relentless non-stop action for a ride from start to finish. And that's about it. I mean, there's not much more I can say. This film obviously stars Michelle Yeoh as the main leading actress, who's basically playing a female Indiana Jones, practically, and she gets a lot of action in this one, a lot of hand-to-hand combat, a lot of really cool weaponry work with this cool kind of like spear weapon, kind of flip, kind of rope, definitely kind of eat your heart out Indiana Jones with his whip. She's got this kind of like really kind of rope that has like a blade attached to it and kind of spins and keeps enemies at bay. Hand-to-hand combat with spears, jumping off top of rooftops, motorcycles, airplane fights, vehicles, lots of crazy, incredible stuff going on in this film, which is essentially the film. Magnificent Warriors is exactly what it says on the tin, exactly what it says on this beautiful artwork here. It is just a 90-minute thrill ride from start to finish. You set in 1930s during World War II, and you've got Chinese resistance going against the Japanese imperialists, which have taken over a town. They want to basically kind of have this town as an operation and a home base, and they're kind of trying to, bring in the regulars. They're trying to, sift out the kind of rats, to take control of this kind of, small city population, and they're creating poison gas. They're creating all sorts of horrible, nasty stuff. The Japanese in this film are really portrayed to be really horrible, nasty people, killing people left, right, and center, using civilians as kind of test subjects, and just kind of breaking the spirit of the local town people. And Michelle Yeoh is sent into this town to basically find Special Agent 001. You got Richard Ng in the film from the Lucky Star movies. He's playing a kind of comic relief kind of character in the film. His comedy material in this one is a lot more kind of specific and nowhere near as obnoxious or annoying or pervy compared to some of the material where I've known him to do kind of thing. I definitely think he doesn't get as much kind of comedy kind of thing to do in this one compared to something like Midnight Express. I think when he teams up with Sammo Hung, I think he uses him very specifically. In this one, he's a lot more tolerable, he's a lot more kind of down to earth. He's just kind of a drifter kind of character that gets involved with the kind of special agent operations resistance going between the Chinese and the Japanese. The character in this film is actually pretty good. He definitely gets a lot more of the slapstick kind of humor kind of based, a lot more kind of silly dialogue, but he gets a heart of gold, and he actually has some good speeches and some good moments. Our main leading female action-led star, kick-assery, that is Michelle Yeoh, delivers yet again within this incredible, relentless, non-stop action film. This is, I mean, you need to take a break, I think, in places in the film. This is from D&D Films, which basically just thrown a load of budget at this film. This looks very expensive. It's just non-stop, with a lot of extras, a lot of weaponry, a lot of people on horses, and backflips going on rooftops. There's a lot of dangerous kind of work, and all of this is outside. None of this is really kind of in sets as much. I mean, whether this kind of a town was built as a set is another thing, but this is really a really outside location based movie. There isn't kind of like a stage kind of location necessarily. It all kind of feels practical. It feels on location. It feels very raw with its kind of attitude, and its approach is actually quite good as well. It's a very different style and the very different way the film looks overall compared to what Royal Warriors was, and this one takes it to a whole new level, and there's just so much going on screen. I definitely think it's a strength and also a slight weakness of the film. I think it depends on your taste, depending on how much you're enjoying the kind of what's presented in front of you, the style of the film, kind of the widescreen aspect, the editing, the kind of the fades kind of thing. It's definitely going for that kind of old school, kind of old fashioned kind of style of filmmaking, being more recognizable. One of the surprising aspects of this film is, as mentioned with the Michelle Yeoh kind of renaissance that EUREKA's pumping out, this is the third film, or fourth technically, I would say, if you call them Lucky Star movies, that she did during non-stop kind kind of thing, going from Yes Madam, Royal Warriors, and obviously Magnificent Warriors. And this kind of stopped her doing action films for a good couple of years. She basically said in the booklet and in the extras that this kind of broke her a bit. You know, the film was so demanding and so much, and I think they were so reliant on these kind of stunt performers and actresses, and the fact that she was a staple name by this point. She did 2 big blockbuster films, and she was recognised, and she's female lead kick-ass action hero. This was so demanding for her, and she felt it was quite dangerous also because there wasn't much protection, there wasn't much kind of, it was on the ground, kind of down to earth, kind of action based kind of material with some of the fighting and some of the action stunts, and it was very dangerous for her, as she described in some of the extras on the booklet. And she kind of just quit doing action films for quite some time, and obviously returning back later on within 1992's Police Story 3, which was an even bigger kind of like, I think leap by that point in terms of how stunts performed and how safety measures are kind of pushed, with obviously Jackie Chan being the king. Or Michelle Yeoh's point of view, I completely understand, because the film is just, as mentioned, just non-stop action. Every single frame, every single kind of moment in the film, for majority of, I say 80% of the film, is just relentless action, and there's only a small amount of kind of downtime you have with the characters in terms of their kind of interactions with each other and their kind of banter. I think she plays a really good character in this one. She definitely is playing, again, a lot more fun, a lot more kind of, cheeky kind of characters. She's very different, again, from the previous 2 kind of characters before. She's an actress. At the end of the day, she's presenting a character on screen. She delivers a really nice, fun character, and I think she does a really good job with the action and the performance. And it's a shame that the film kind of stopped her from doing more movies for a while, and I can understand why, because it's so tiresome, I suppose, after a while, and doing these films back to back to back, and obviously not being challenged enough in the right areas, or not having a character that you can really get behind. So that's been my review for Magnificent Warriors, guys. It's a non-stop, relentless action film from start to finish. Whether that's a good thing, whether that's a bad thing, is down to you as a personal taste. I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was a really fun ride. Fun 90-minute action adventure film with Michelle Yeoh kicking some ass. Then you're definitely going to get it, guys, for sure. Magnificent Warriors definitely delivers, and I really like this edition from EUREKA, which is some fantastic artwork there, which definitely represents the film. Get the alternative artwork, which I actually really like a lot. I think it was called Dynamite Warriors, I believe, from the original title. Yeah, booklet there, give it this artwork there. What are your thoughts and opinions on Magnificent Warriors? Please comment down below. What are your thoughts on the next potential release from EUREKA in terms of Michelle Yeoh Renaissance? Are they going to do Super Cop 2? Are they going to do any more of her kind of early kind of 90s action movies? Because she did a few more that haven't been properly released yet, so there's a few more definitely on the table for sure. Very curious to see where EUREKA go next with Michelle Yeoh's kind of career, with her kind of releases. So in the meantime, guys, down for the reviews.